organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, we take a look at the life of a legendary Big Ten coach and what his death means for college football. And see how students can protect their homes and their valuables from burglaries. And in sports, we'll tell you why Major League All-Star spent the weekend in Iowa City. That's all coming your way next, right here on Daily Iowan TV.
From Studio 151, your television news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan, this is Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks for tuning in to your Sunday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Jessica Wank.
And I'm John Dedcott. Penn State University and football fans across the country are grieving this weekend following the death of former football coach Joe Paterno. Paterno died this morning at age 85 after complications from lung cancer surgery. Last fall was Paterno's 46th season coaching Penn State. However, Paterno was fired from that job after mishandling sexual abuse allegations on his coaching staff, leaving some fans conflicted on how he should be remembered. Now, Daily Iowan TV's Ian Martin joins us with sports editor Seth Roberts in the newsroom for more on what Paterno's death means for college football.
Yeah, thanks, John. I'm here with Seth Roberts. Seth is the sports editor and football reporter at the Daily Iowan. And Seth, you sat next to Joe Paterno during Big Ten Media Days this year. What was kind of the aura that he exuded?
It was a very powerful aura, and so powerful that I was too much of a chicken to actually ask him anything. But, you know, he was a small guy. He's very frail. He was already very elderly. And he was leaning on the table, very thick glasses. And you could barely hear him when he talked. But he was... When I listened back to the interview, he was funny, he was insightful, and really it was just a fascinating experience and one that was really pretty special for a while.
And obviously all of that before the scandal that came out this past November, but you look at the football accomplishments that he had, coupled with that controversy that ended his career. What do you think the legacy ultimately of Joe Paterno is?
I have no idea, honestly. I mean, because... on one hand, you can't take away the fact that he won 409 football games at Penn State. He was there since 1950. I mean, he was the Penn State football program. He was college football. When you think about college sports, he's one of the first names that comes up. But at the same time, you can't ignore everything else that has happened and that's come out recently. So, you know, the football part of me and the fan and the journalist, you know, I mean, he's still Joe Pa, but as a human being, it's very difficult to reconcile that with the horrors that have come out of State College since.
Yeah, and absolutely, Seth. And you actually tackle that a little bit more if you want to pick up tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan. Seth has a full 500 words expanding on what we just talked about. Stay tuned for more sports. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Ian. We'll see you again in just a few minutes for more on Hawkeye Sports. But right now, you can check out Seth's full story on the passing of Joe Paterno at DailyIowanMedia.com.
University of Iowa police are urging students to walk in groups and use other transportation services after the report of a sexual assault on campus this weekend. Police say a female student reported she was sexually assaulted near the Becker Communications building early Friday morning. That's at least the fifth on-campus sexual assault reported to police since fall of 2010. The case remains under investigation, and for more on how public safety officials are responding, check out Monday's print edition of the Daily Iowan.
Starting this week, the state of Iowa will hold a competition with itself. Live Healthy Iowa is having a 100-day wellness challenge in hopes of ultimately making Iowa the healthiest state in America. Daily Iowa TV's Christina Targos took a look at this healthy competition.
Every year, the Gallup Healthways Wellbeing Index breaks down the health and wellness of states. It looks at the living situations and work situations of the state, and also the physical and emotional health of people living in that state. In 2010, Iowa was ranked the 19th healthiest state in America. As part of a goal to be the healthiest state in America by 2016, the state of Iowa is holding a competition to get people in shape. It is called the 100-Day Wellness Challenge. It begins January 23, 2012, and goes until May 1, 2012. There are two different types of this challenge. The corporate challenge is for companies participating. The companies will be divided up by size, and the winners are based on the highest percentage of a company's workforce starting and completing the 100-Day Wellness Challenge. There is also a Community Cup Challenge that will have cities, counties, or regions compete against each other. The winner of the Community Cup Challenge will be determined by the highest percentage of people who start and finish the Adult Challenge, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. There is also a children's version of the 100-Day Wellness Challenge, so kids can participate too. And students understand how important it is to stay healthy while in school.
It is so important for people to be healthy and come to the utilize the rec center while they're in school. It helps me manage my stress so much better when I'm active and I'm able to keep myself healthy.
Christina Targos, Daily Iowan TV.
As of today, there are over 25,000 Iowans participating in the 100-Day Wellness Challenge.
More to come on Daily Iowan TV. Winter break is over, but students can and should still protect themselves from potential burglaries. And in sports, results from number 2 Iowa Wrestling's weekend road trip.
Now, Daily Iowan TV's Muriel Konne joins us in the studio for your local weather forecast. Muriel?
Well, John, it will warm up a little bit this week, but we can expect that snow to stick around tomorrow. It will be just below 30 degrees with a good chance of snow on Monday morning. That temperature is expected to drop off to 28 degrees by late afternoon with the partly cloudy skies until dinner time. But be sure to bundle up when you hit the books tomorrow night, as temperatures are expected to drop to about 24 degrees at 9 p.m. Sorry, I don't have better news for you, John, but be sure to wear some extra layers. Back to you at the studio.
Last month, we reported that Iowa City Police would be on the lookout for more break-ins while the university was on vacation. However, Daily Iowa TV's Brad Maxwell tells us why students should still be on alert.
Winter break. A great chance to leave school, visit the family, and take some time off. But what many students forget is it provides a great opportunity for something else: break-ins.
Whenever people leave their houses and leave residences unoccupied, we tend to see a higher volume of burglaries. Most crime is based off of opportunity, and obviously when the residents are away, opportunity increases.
As students rush off for the holidays, many don't realize that a few minor mistakes, such as forgetting to lock the door or even letting mail pile up, can make them an easy target for break-ins.
You know, criminals look for the easiest in, the easiest out, and they really look to not be caught, obviously. And when there's nobody there to catch you, there's nobody there to see you or identify you, obviously that's a good opportunity for those trying to victimize us.
With many students leaving for winter vacation, December and January have some of the highest break-in rates of the year. So what are students doing to protect themselves from break-ins while they're away?
I locked up all my doors and I hid any valuables that I left there, but I took a lot of them home with me.
Well, originally when I leased my apartment building, it's in a, you have to have a key to get into it, so it's a little bit of a safer building. And then I always lock the door, right when I get in my building, or in my apartment.
Many thieves walk through apartment buildings looking for any door left unlocked or any window left open. While this may alarm some, simple steps can be taken to minimize the chances of a break-in, such as requesting a hold on mail and taking expensive products with you. The biggest thing, however, is remembering to lock all doors and windows before leaving.
We see a lot of homes, apartments that are broken into just that don't have their doors or windows locked.
The Iowa City Police Department continues to reach out to students and offer advice. However, they suggest it will take an individual effort to keep apartments secure over break. I'm Brad Maxwell, Daily Iowan TV.
Local law enforcement suggests that following these few quick steps to secure your apartment will go a long way towards minimizing the break-in rates over holidays or even a long weekend. And some students were forced out into the cold over the weekend after Hillcrest Dormitory had to be evacuated due to smoke. On Friday night, the Iowa City Fire Department determined the smoke came from a small fire sparked by a cigarette and some dry leaves.
The race for the GOP nomination hasn't become much clearer, as last night Newt Gingrich won in South Carolina. This was the third major primary and the third different winner. After finishing fourth in the Iowa caucuses, Gingrich stole the Saturday primary with about 40% of the votes. Former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, who won New Hampshire and performed well in Iowa, came in second with roughly 27% of the votes, followed by Rick Santorum, who was declared the winner in Iowa last week. The next primary will take place in Florida on January 31st. And now Daily Iowan TV's Ian Martin is back with us in the studio for a look at Hawkeye sports. Ian?
And before we leave you tonight, let's take a quick look at some of the top stories from around the country. U.S. Representative Gabrielle Giffords of Arizona, who suffered brain injuries after she was a victim of a shooting rampage last January, has announced her resignation. Giffords said she has resigned in order to continue recovery from her injuries.
Tampa Bay Rays outfielder Ben Zobrist was the host of several baseball clinics this weekend, one of which was held at Parkview Church in Iowa City, where his father-in-law is the head pastor. Zobrist's baseball bash at Parkview was held on Saturday night, and featured at the clinic was a home run derby as well as stations specialized for fielding and pitching. The event also had classic ballpark food, and Zobrist was available for autographs and pictures for a large portion of the night. And he explained why it was especially important to give back to the community as a Major League Baseball player.
Well, I just feel like it's kind of part of our gift. It's part of, as a major leaguer, you kind of have a platform to speak from, and if we can do something to encourage younger kids to be active and to encourage them in their faith, I mean, that's kind of why we're here at Parkview Church.
Zobrist did add that his favorite part of the clinics was sharing his journey in the major leagues with young kids who have the same goals that he did. It was a weekend of upsets in wrestling for the Iowa Hawkeyes, but that's not good when you're number 2 in the country. After winning the first match on Friday night at Ohio State, a 5-2 decision for 125-pounder Matt McDonough, the Buckeyes won the next 5 matches, including defeating the Hawkeyes' usual sure things, Tony Ramos and Montel Marion. Iowa was only able to win 3 matches on Friday night. Now the team is on a losing streak because today, against Penn State, Iowa was defeated by the Nittany Lions for the first time since 2007. The Hawkeyes won the first 3 matches before losing the final 7, and it won't get any easier for Iowa either because their next meet is against number 4, Minnesota. Also in State College today, after a pregame moment of silence for Joe Paterno, the Iowa women's basketball team hung with the Lady Lions all day, even having a lead at halftime, but a late 20-2 run by Penn State sealed Iowa's defeat, and the Hawkeyes have won just 2 games in their last 5. That's all for sports tonight. Back to you, John and Jess.
And to mark the Chinese New Year, villagers in Fujian, China constructed a bench dragon. The tradition dates back over 1,000 years. And I guess bench dragons can be hundreds of meters long, made of a head, body, and tail. The dragons are typically made of wood and bamboo. The villagers believe the dragons bring blessings. The parade starts at nightfall.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak preview of tomorrow's print edition of the Daily Iowan. With a new bill, Iowa legislators are hoping to crack down on establishments that serve to underage drinkers. And read about how the University of Iowa International Programs Department will be restructured following the elimination of 2 deans.
Thanks for tuning in for your Sunday edition of Daily Iowan TV. Check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night.